I'll say good and I'll say tonight, but I won't say Rocky. So you can say that. Okay.
As I go forward, you go back.
Okay, hang on, we got to...
Hello, I'm Simon LeBon, this is Nick Rhodes. We are collectively known as...
Arcadia.
Have you heard the news?
There's good.
Rocking
Tonight.
Jolly good.
Tonight, we present an exclusive in-depth interview with Simon LeBon and Nick Rhodes of Arcadia. Also, the Till Tuesday trivia winners, the top 20 singles and albums countdown, plus a special Arcadia Durand trivia question on Good Rockin' Tonight. How you doing? Welcome to show number 140 of Good Rockin' Tonight, Canada's first national video show. I'm Stu Jeffries, and we have a super special tailor-made for you. I haven't been this excited since I got my first pair of long pants. Seriously, what really pleases me is that we can fulfill thousands of requests in just one show and with just one interview. A few weeks ago, I flew to Toronto to talk with Simon LeBon and Nick Rhodes, who were on a promotional tour for Arcadia. I gotta tell you, as Simon and Nick arrived for the interview, I was a little apprehensive. They seemed very tired and very unwilling to answer the same old questions. But once we got rolling, not only were they very cooperative, they answered every question with genuine sincerity and a lot of humor. I was disappointed when my time was up. We were really starting to have some fun. And because of that, and the fact that So Red the Rose is an excellent album, Arcadia has a new fan, yours truly. Tonight, they guest host the entire 90 minutes, talking about everything from the new Arcadia album, So Red the Rose, to their future with Duran-Durand, who are probably the most popular group since the Beatles. Sitting back there, waiting to go here, and wondering exactly how many millions of the same questions
Can we answer? Can we finally fuse and explode? Tell you what, none. So don't ask any that we've already been asked.
Hi, well, thanks for joining us. At what point in Duran-Durand's career did you decide that Arcadia was the project for both of you?
It was more really the result of the time when we were recording View to a Kill as Duran-Durand. We knew that we had to do something a little bit different, so we just split down in our ranks. John and Andy already had the idea of Power Station and wanted to do something that was much more heavy sounding. And Simon and I were left with some time, so we just ended up going to the studio and writing some songs.
Could not have Duran-Durand done Arcadia? Let me tell you, first of all...
Actually, you know, to be honest with you, it was really the fault of what we have in England, these gas meter men, these men who come and check the meters for gas and electricity. Well, I was already packed, my suitcase was by my side, down, and I was ready to go off on holiday, and I had a plane booked, a flight down to the Caribbean, sunny islands for Christmas. I was going to spend the time basking underneath the hot tropical sun. And there was this knock on the front door. And I went to answer the front door, and there was the gas man. And I said to the gas man, come on, you've got to be quick, because I've got a plane to catch, and, you know, I'm just on my way. And in fact, if I don't leave in the next 5 minutes, I'll be late for the plane. And he said, well, I suppose I'll better be as quick as I can, actually. So he came in, and he looked at the gas meter, and he couldn't find it, because there were so many boxes in a little cupboard underneath the stairs. And he was rummaging away through these boxes, and I said, come on, hurry up, chop, old chap. And he really wasn't getting it together. Anyway, he eventually found it, read the meters, and just as he left, actually. He left. And just as I was about to leave the house and jump into the taxi after having locked up the house, I heard the phone ringing.
Let me guess.
And it was Nick on the phone saying, no, you can't go on holiday.
Hello, Simon. Is that you?
Yes, it's me, Nick. Yes, it's me. What do you want? I'm just about to go on holiday.
No, don't go on holiday. Why don't you stay here and record a record, or let's write some songs or something. It's been a long time since we've written any songs.
Oh, come on, but I've had this holiday booked up for about 3 weeks now. You can't expect me to do that.
Well, book another one up in 6 months' time.
Look, tell you what, if I come and do this album with you, do you promise you'll let me go on the boat race next year?
Well, I'm not promising, but there's a lot more chance if you do the record.
Okay, you're wrong. We'll do the album. And that's exactly what happened, you see. So it was really the fault of the meter man who came knocking on the door when I had my suitcase packed and ready.
Just happened very naturally, basically. There was only the two of us writing songs at first, and we'd done a couple of things just the two of us with Duran before things like The Chauffeur and The Seventh Stranger. But we didn't know what direction we were going to go in. We just thought, let's just let the music take us wherever it goes, and we sat down and started a song, and instead of saying, okay, so now let's try and write the chorus to it, we'd say, so what comes next? And the whole album just developed like that.
Right.
Is that an unusual structure for your songwriting technique for you guys to use?
Well, you see, we've only well, personally speaking, I've only been writing under two different sets of circumstances before. One being before I joined the group. I was writing on my own with a guitar, and actually working from lyrics. I'd work out the lyric and then try and find a tune that would suit it. I find that very difficult to do, actually. It's music, I think, is the root of it, and now I like to find a tune and then fit words to the tune, what inspires me. That way of writing, or writing with Duran, which was literally in a room with four other people trying to work out something from nothing. And so this is just another way, the third method of writing, if you like. So it wasn't, yes, it was something new, but it wasn't as though I hadn't had experience of change before.
Duran video. Simon.
He goes first.
Okay. Nick.
My favourites, I like The Union of the Snake best, I think, just because it has a great look to it. It's very modern, and it's sort of like the Wild Boys before we did the Wild Boys, so I kind of like that one.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that a lot. Didn't like it when they were filming it. Wild Boys, I like it. I think Bloody Well ought to be good. The amount of money we spent on it, you know. We did make it. Well, you can ask too much. I'm afraid I won't be able to tell you. No, we also made it. We filmed a lot of stuff for the arena. Was it? It's called Arena. It's called Arena.
It is indeed called Arena.
It's this sort of filmy thing with Milo O'Shea and us gallivanting madly, which was a lot of fun, and we got a lot of footage for that. I like it. I mean, it's spectacular. It's not over-violent. I mean, it's not nasty violence. It's just that thing, that willy with teeth.
Bad boys! Bad boys! Bad boys! Bad boys!
How do you think that the shall we call them the mainstream Duran fans would react to an album like this? Did you even think about that?
Well, it wasn't something that we were very conscious of at the time, because we were looking very much at the music itself. I think to start worrying about what somebody's going to think of your music once they hear it is going to make it self-conscious anyway. So we try to avoid that. We always try and avoid that. I mean, I know that a lot of Duran fans are into very good music, not just Duran music, but they are very serious music lovers. They do listen, and they're young, yes, but they've got a lot of discrimination when they listen to records and songs. So when we written it, I thought, well, I think some of them are going to like it. Maybe some of them are going to miss the poppiness, the bubble, the fizz of Duran. Maybe some of them are going to be moved by it a little bit more than Duran does. Hi, I'm Simon, and this is John.
And we're both from Durand-Durand, and we'd like to wish everybody in Canada
a very happy New Year.
Simon and John, a year ago from London. If you've just tuned in, I'm Stu Jeffries, and you're watching an Arcadia Durand special. You know, Arcadia has been called Durand's other and heavy half. The first half is, of course, Power Station, which was comprised of the other two Taylors, Andy and John, as well as Robert Palmer and Chic drummer Tony Thompson. The differences in the two offspring bands are like night and day in most cases. One of the major differences is the fact that Power Station toured, albeit without Robert Palmer, and Arcadia hasn't, nor will they. Here's another.
It was a different way of working, if nothing else. You know, which is quite interesting, and it's quite educational for me. Because, I mean, at the same time, I've only ever gone into a studio with 4 other people in my life, you know. Or I've only ever gone into a studio as a member of Durand-Durand. So it's quite interesting. If we take time off to recharge our creative batteries, that's the time that people don't read about us. You know, so you may not know when we're doing that, if you know what I mean. I mean, if we're taking 3 months sabbatical, if you like, to get away from it all. Those are going to be the 3 months that you were not going to know about it. So we do, but if you know what I mean. Actually, I don't know what I mean.
Is there going to be any dissension going into the studio as far as musical cooperation is concerned when you go in to record the new Duran album?
No, because we know each other so well. No, because we know what we want to do. We want to come up with a great Duran album. No, because we basically really do love each other very much. We get on well.
Because we've all learnt so much. I think one of the major things being space within music, letting the music breathe. We always tended as Duran to over-record a lot of things, I think, particularly on earlier albums, and sort of everybody stick every idea they've got into a song. There's a certain simplicity that I think both Power Station and Arcadia has learned, and because that should reflect within the Duran music, I think it'll be very hard to sort of go and make this row together and then pick it up. I think we're going to be more careful about it, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure, but that's what I think at the moment.
In North America, you're considered by a lot of people, myself included, as one of the pioneers of bringing creative video to North America. Mm-hmm. For example, the Hungry Like the Wolf story in Canada was on music director's desk for 6 months, ignored, and then all of a sudden 6 months later it appears again, and this time they said on the strength of an MTV video, and this is what everybody was concentrating on. What is this MTV? What is the video? What's going on? To see it, and that seemed to start it. How do you feel about that? Do you feel as though you are the...
I think we did pioneer video very much, yes, because we didn't use it as
purely a sales device.
Yeah, a sales device.
Yeah, a lot of
we didn't
just
want
adverts,
to.
Didn't they?
We didn't want to just sort of stand there and perform our song. We wanted to do something special with it, and we tried to develop it more as an art form. And we're still now trying to do that, but taking it in a slightly different direction, seeing as over the past 5 years, some of the people seem to be catching up, or I should say. They've overtaken, and they're now actually going around in total circle and making the same video every time. We're tending to make things more simple again.
I mean, I love the reflex. I mean, love the dancing and the fun that's in it. Oh, and that was filmed here at Maple Leaf Gardens, as you know.
That graphic is unbelievable.
Well, the water, it's the guy gets the one bucket in the face, which makes me laugh. But that's not my favourite, no. I think I've got to choose... I like View to a Kill because it's just funny. It makes me laugh every time I see it. I like seeing us making prats of ourselves.
So that's your favourite View to a Kill?
I think
How
so.
did you come to write that, or approached by the James Bond people, as it were?
James Bond people
more of a case
with
of
guns.
Bond.
It was like this. It was like, my name is Bond. You will write this song.
John and I were actually at a party for, I can't remember what it was in London, but
Told him
anyway.
it did him no good.
Mr. Cubby Broccoli was there, and John and I had a little bit to drink, and John said, "Hey, you know who that is over there? That's Cubby Broccoli. You know what he does?" I said, "What's that, John?" He said, "He produces the James Bond films. I want to do the soundtrack to that." I said, "Okay, fine, fair. Go and tell him." So he did, and that was that.
Are you into doing movies?
We've been approached. I mean, like, I think from different angles. Nick would probably direct. I would probably act. And I speak for both of us. Do you want me to speak for me first? Or?
You can speak for you.
Well, I've been approached. I'd like to do it one day. I don't think it's as much fun as writing and performing songs, but given the right script, and it hasn't come up yet, I would like to do it.
10 years from now, what do you see yourselves doing?
I don't think that far ahead. Do you? Does anybody these days? Do we know? How long have we got?
Please, please tell me now. Please, please tell me now. Please, please tell me now. Please, please tell me now.
Hey, Simon.
Yes, John?
Have you heard the news?
What? Do you mean that there's good rockin' tonight?
Some Duran history. The band hails from Birmingham, England, and they got their name from a mechanical character in the Jane Fonda movie Barbarella. Now, they formed in 1978 when Nick and John met Roger at a party and decided that Roger would be a good replacement for their rhythm box. Andy Taylor joined up after responding to an ad, and Simon Le Bon replaced a series of vocalists who didn't work out. Quick update on Simon. He's now married. He married English-Iranian model Yasmin Pervina, and that couple met when Le Bon telephoned the bride's modeling agency to ask for a date after seeing her picture in a magazine. Nick's also married. His wedding included live pink flamingos. They are, after all, very rich, you know.
I'm always making a very conscious effort to retain as much of these kind of personal freedoms as possible. And being a nice guy is one of them.
Is this true?
Occasionally, you have to tolerate him every week, so you have to come to terms with it, really. No, it is true. It's true of all the band. I think everybody. I think the thing is, amongst five of us, because there's always at least four that have got their feet firmly on the ground. They always, as soon as somebody starts floating up a little bit, just yank them back down again.
That's right.
And we all sort of keep each other in place. There's no room for any inflated ego because everybody's so big anyway.
I think it's great in that it's put colour back into rock and roll, basically. People are thinking visually again. You know, we've gone away from the stale progressive rock era, you know, Pink Floyd period, and now people are back and pop groups look like pop groups again, you know, which I think is great.
I think that it's not, and I don't think that it's going to go back to where it started. And when video first came out, people actually were sitting down in front of a TV for 24 hours a day looking at this incredible new thing. Now I think the novelty's worn off and people are going to use it like perhaps they use a radio. They switch it on and watch a bit of it and don't watch other bits. But I don't think it'll never replace a live show.
I just don't like to see it become too formularised, you know.
What do you call the back end of a car, where you open up and put...
A boot.
No, it's a trunk.
Rubbish.
No, it's what do you call what you're sitting on? What is this that you're sitting on?
What do you call the front end?
The hood.
It's a
bonnet.
It's a sofa. hey,
what's this that you're sitting on?
What,
this is a what?
Spell silk.
No, it's a Chesterfield.
Oh, what? A Chesterfield. I've got one. They call it Chesterfield, I know, it's ridiculous.
Right.
How do you spell silk? Spell silk.
S-I-L-K.
What do cows drink?
Milk.
Rubbish. Cows drink water. That's really bad, isn't it?
I think it was very important for us to record the album somewhere that was inspirational. And Paris was definitely that, because there's so many things there that there isn't anywhere else in the world. I mean, just when you get up in the morning and go out and sort of go to the studio or to fetch some food or whatever, so many things going on around you. I mean, there's galleries there, there's different cinemas all over the place. I think they've got more in one little area than anywhere else in the world. And there's great sort of little shops that sell the strangest things. You know,
we call them rotting
charms.
body shops. Rotting body shops, which is just full of tack and trash.
Strange
30-year-old shops. Nobody's been in them for about 15 years.
There's just a lot of really remarkable things there, and for us, I think it was very inspiring. Yeah, I think the album became very European sounding.
It's quite a tough city as well, isn't it? I mean, tough. If you walk around the Pompidou Centre and around the streets, I mean, it is tough. There's a real kind of earthy feeling you can get. I mean, we picked up a little bit of French, and you feel this kind of. I mean, it's sort of something in common with the French people. I like their attitude to life. They want to enjoy it. They want to live it while they can and blow their money having fun. And I like I just like the attitudes you find. I mean, it can be dangerous as well. It can be quite a dangerous city, but so can New York.
So can Toronto.
Yeah.
Influences when I started, nothing particularly. I mean, I grew up listening to Roxy music, David Bowie, and what was termed glam rock, I suppose, in England. But seeing as I couldn't play so much when I started with a little toy synthesizer this big. I used to play with one finger at a time. I used to have little stickers all over the synthesizer with
A,
B, C, D. So really, it would have been hard for me to be influenced by anyone, because even if I sort of wanted to be influenced by them. I don't think I could have played by them, but
I always imagined you'd be influenced by something like Eno, because whenever you see film of Eno, he never touches the keyboard. It's just the knobs he twiddles with.
no, I'd sort of developed my own method of writing, which I'm still trying to do to this day.
Which we're still trying to understand.
The more I learn, the more I find myself going back to when I didn't know those things, because I think that rules are really only there to be broken anyway, particularly within music. And I don't like things that sound like everything else. I think it's very important. I've always been interested in sound as well. I think to integrate sound into a musical format is very important too. And as for goals, I decided, I guess, when I was about 16, that I wanted to be in a group, and so John and I got this thing together. Neither of us could really play anything, but we learnt slowly, and we just wanted to do the best we possibly could, and I think probably still the same now. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? You know, it's so... You tend, when you can't do it, when you don't know music very well, you think it must be such a difficult thing to do, to write music. It's a real, a real skill. But I mean, honestly, it's not that difficult, is it? It's like taking photographs. You know, if you've got some kind of inspiration, you don't have to be technically brilliant. You just have to know. You have to love what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. I mean, within Durand-Durand, the only musician that I would say is technically excellent is Andy.
Oh, what are you going to say, me?
You? You're hopeless. You're worse than me.
Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand, just like that river twisting through the dusty land.
Will I get more Arcadia? Or is this an out of our system?
Well, it's not out of our system. It's not out of my system. I know. I loved it. I mean, I really do like this album, and I love that side. It's the way that we write music, and I enjoy it very much. I mean, I like doing poppy things as well. I mean, Election Day for me is a great song. It would be a great song if it wasn't ours, but it's seeing as it's our own, and I'd say it's a great song. So it's a good song. We think it's a good song, but. But it's the Lady Ice and El Diablo. It's very much sort of... It's really very satisfying to write that kind of music, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, it was like a voyage of exploration with a lot of the songs on this album, because one thing that I think we were tending to do as Duran-Duran, which was something that we needed to break away from, was sort of structure things in the same manner. Like a verse, chorus, middle eight, and chorus to fade sort of arrangement. And with this album, we very much steered clear of that and said, well, how do we want to do it? Let's just see what happens. And once you do that, once you break down that sort of mental barrier, I think there's a lot more things you can do, which really is side two of this album, is us trying to take those boundaries a little bit further for ourselves.
But do I get more? And is there going to be anything?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Sometime in the future, I'm sure, yeah.
I really do believe there will be more. I'm quite certain of that, actually.
Can we have some Duran Duran parting words for your Canadian fans? Special words.
The parting in the hair. The parting of me and my money.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame we're here actually just to do a few interviews, although it's terribly fun doing interviews with you. It'd be nice to play here live again, I think probably next year.
Oh yeah, we've always had...
People are going to see more Duran-Duran, and hopefully some live concerts. And then sometime after that, maybe in the future, we'll do some Arcadia live shows.
Terrific. Be interesting to see you line up all those musicians for a couple of shows.
Never get them on the stage. No.
Nick and Simon, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Incidentally, So Read the Rose, Arcadia's album, is fabulous. When you get an opportunity, pick it up. Thanks, Simon and Nick, again for a great interview. Hey, have you heard the news? There's been good rockin' tonight. See ya.